Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Daniel. Ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for amazing content. Click on the red button that says subscribe. Click on the bell icon so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Kindly subscribe. Please subscribe. Alright, today we'll be talking about GBEMI from the stables of the Mount Zion Film Productions. If you've not yet watched it, head on to Damilola Bamiloye's YouTube channel so you can understand what we are talking about here. GBEMI Part 1 was released last year. I think this is Season 2, Part 1. So we're expecting or anticipating the Part 2 maybe later in the next month or thereabout, or next Sunday or thereabout. Alright, without any further ado, let's dive in straight into it. GBEMI features Femi Adebile as Bro John, as we all know, and Emanuela Bamiloye plays GBEMI herself. She's the writer of the work. And then Ihoma Ogunyomi plays Tara, and Kayode Babalola plays Boyega, and a host of other brilliant actors. The story was written by Emanuela Bamiloye. It was directed by Damilola Bamiloye. The DOP on the set was Damilola Bamiloye. The sound was done by Yomi Odushino. The editing was done by Ruth Adepoju, and the makeup artist on the set was Adenike Owa. Alright, now GBEMI continues with the story of a couple played by Femi Adebile and Emanuela Bamiloye. This time around, they are married and they are in the waiting room. Waiting room in the sense that they are waiting on God for the gift of the fruit of the womb. A lot of back and forth, a lot of argument, a lot of anticipation, a lot of desperation came to play. But at the end of the day, we could see that GBEMI took in and is now pregnant. I won't go deep into the storyline to avoid any spoiler alert, okay? So check it out on Damilola Bamiloye's YouTube channel, and then let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's all I'll be talking to you all about the storyline. All right, let me first of all start with the message. The take-home message for you and I, the message I got in particular. Each scene was loaded. Each scene of GBEMI Part 2 was loaded, even more loaded than Part 1. I stand to say that Part 2 was even more loaded. It was more heavy. The script was more heavy than Part 1. All right, to the lessons. We might be falling but not know. We might be falling as believers or as leaders in ministry. We might be falling and we might not even know that we are falling. It's others around us that will know, that will see us falling. So we have to be very careful and humble enough to listen to advice, because we might just be falling and we might not even know. Seeing the case of Bro John, his friends had to be the one to notice his closeness with Sister Buki and tell him, and he didn't even know who they were referring to. He didn't even know he was the one they were referring to. So that is one lesson. The next lesson is that even preachers are not too big for the waiting room of God. Whoever you are not too big for the waiting room of God. The waiting room of God is for everyone. Whether you are a preacher, whether you are a general overseer, you must pass through the waiting room of God at one point or the other of your life. Seen in the case of Bro John and Sister GBEMI. Next thing was that we should bridle our tongue even when God answers our prayers, to avoid falling into the wrong hands. We all know what Bro John did. Next lesson I could pick up from this movie was that we should not be careless. We should still be humble and listen to our wives. For the married, listen to our wives. Listen to your wife. And for even if you are a single, there should be somebody you should still listen to. Even when God has answered your prayer, there should be somebody that is still guiding you and advising you, even when God has answered your prayers. Next thing is that do not fight for yourself. There's a limit to which physical strength can go, but the power of God can overtake that limit. The power of God can go to any limit to save you. Those are the lessons I picked from this movie. Now to the good and the bad. Do I say good and bad? No, let's not say good and bad. Now to the good things I like about the film. The script was heavy. Each scene had a lesson. It seems all the scenes there is something to pick home or to take home in each of the scenes. The lines were heavy, they were detailed, and they really carried and passed across a message. And the script writing was great. The writing for screen was very, very powerful. So that is one thing I loved about the movie. The script was heavy. Next thing was that it was 90% comedy, but yet with a strong message, which is hard to do. As a writer, you understand that it's not easy fusing in comedy into a very serious message like this one. So the writer, kudos to the writer, because there was a lot of comic reliefs in the movie, and yet the serious message was passed in each of the scenes, regardless of the comic reliefs. Next thing was that the casting was perfect. The casting was beautiful. I love the casting. Next thing was that acting was beautiful. Kudos to Ihoma Ogunyemi. Sorry if I'm murdering that name. I think I've never seen her in any works before, in any movie before, but this one that I'm seeing her for the first time, she did a great and a brilliant job. Gospel movie directors, take note of Ihoma Ogunyemi. She's a brilliant actress. Kudos to you, ma'am. Next thing was that the line of conversation in the movie was very, very beautiful. I love the script writing. I love the way the writer arranged the conversations. This one talking, the other one picking up immediately, and with heavy lines, not weak lines, or heavy lines. You can tell that the lines were very, very heavy. The lines were very, very heavy. Kudos to the writer of GBEMI too. All right, now to the things that didn't really go down well with me with GBEMI season 2 part 1. The first thing was that I didn't really see any creativity in the cinematography of this film. You all know, we know Damilola Bamiloye's works. If you watch Abattoir, if you watch The Train? If you watch The Train, if you watch there's this other movie I'm trying to recall now. If you watch The Train, you will see brilliant cinematography. You will see a lot of styles in cinema. We all know Damilola Bamiloye is a filmmaker that is heavy on cinematography. He takes his time to depict every scene cinematographically, if there's any English like that. He really plays with the camera and makes the audience to connect to each scene deeply, that even if you are watching the film, you will be soaked in the scene. But I didn't really get that for GBEMI part 2, season 2 part 1. I didn't really get that. It was just like point and shoot. It was just like direct. There was no creativity as regarding the cinematography of this film, of GBEMI season 2 part 1. I wish they did better with the cinematography of the film. Next thing was that there were little continuity issues with Femi Adebile's hair, his beards, even Gbenga Ayola's hair, the beards. There were little continuity issues. I mean, not too bad. There were some kind of little continuity issues. It was not too bad in the sense that only movie reviewers like me would be able to notice it. It was not that bad. It was not that obvious. That's the right word to use. It was not that obvious. So there were little continuity issues. The continuity supervisor, the continuity manager should have done better in for this story line. Next thing was that, is it possible for Bro John to just be telling his mother that his wife had conceived days after the news broke? Is it possible? I mean, this is good news. He should have called his mother a few hours after he got the news, or a few hours after they knew she was pregnant. But we were made to understand that he was calling her like maybe 5 days after the news had already broke, seeing the fact that this is good news. So that was a kind of unrealistic. Next thing was that some evening scenes seemed like normal day scenes based on the costume some characters were putting on. Like some night scenes felt like normal daytime scenes because of the makeup. You see them on heavy makeup, on normal makeup with lipstick and normal dresses, and they are trying to convince us that that is night scene. So I wish the costumer and the makeup artist or the director should have done better in depicting the night scenes than they did, to make it more believable to us, we the viewers. Next thing was that Ella, sorry for that, for the break. Ella barges in to her boss office with her phone and hands it over to him, and then he makes his wife at home talks to him, and Ella or GBEMI stands there while Kayode Babalola's character was talking to his wife at home. I mean, it's a kind of unrealistic, seeing the fact that he's her boss. She can't just barge into his office at anyhow. Even if let's say she has barged into his office. Even when he's talking to his wife, will she still be standing there? I think he's meant to send her out. He's meant to send her out while he makes calls to his wife. That's just a personal opinion. Anyway, the last but not the least, I just felt that Bukky having to try that hard to introduce herself to GBEMI on phone was unnecessary. Seeing the fact that Bukky was a church member, even a member of the protocol department, she didn't really need much introduction to GBEMI on phone. GBEMI should have been able to recognize her voice, and even if just telling her it's Sister Bukky, GBEMI should know who is speaking. Seeing the fact that she's a member of the church GBEMI and her husband attend. But we could see that GBEMI Sister Bukky rather had to take some time to introduce herself on phone. Sister Bukky, I work in the protocol department, this and that. She said a couple of things before GBEMI's character knew who was talking. That it kind of felt unrealistic. All right. With this, I come to the end of GBEMI review. My name remains Oris Daniel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with what I said? Let me know. Don't you agree with what I said? Let me know. Positive and negative comments are welcome in the comment section. Let's discuss about GBEMI. Thank you very much for watching. Ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that red button that says subscribe and join this family. Bye for now. Until the next one, my name remains Oris Daniel. Catch you all later.